Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain back for the final part of the Devil's Gambit quests. Not really a chain here. So if you didn't watch the other videos, basically there are 4 quests total. Each quest is a standalone and not required for any of the others. In order to easily teleport between them, you can actually talk to the quest givers here. You can select to go to Gatekeeper's Grove. From the Gatekeeper's Grove, it can teleport you to any of the quests. There's one in the 12, one in the Harbor, one in the Gatekeeper's Grove itself, and then one here in House Cannith, which is where we are today. Alright, so this quest here is Multitude of Menace, and it's actually probably one of our longest quests of this chain. So let's get this one started. So immediately inside, it's kind of a nice looking room, but nothing special, but it does give you a little kind of safety right here. Just as there's nothing around. So it gives you time to buff up, prepare yourself, and just get ready to head on in. Once you're buffed and ready, you're going to want to head inside. We have a good old General Eritricos. We also have a guy named Carver. Now, what's going to happen is he's going to basically duplicate himself over and over and over. So here we are. And while we're busy fighting essentially his copies and his clones, he escapes off to the south. So once you've done that fight, go ahead and grab the breakables, which there were a couple up top. And then we're going to head down. So again, same thing. More Carver talking to people. He's going to create clones. But essentially you just got to wait here for them to stop talking. Here we go. Alright. Once everyone is dead, you can go ahead and proceed down the stairs. And take out the rest of them. Alright. So now here we do have a split. We want to actually head off to the right. Alright, which as you see does have some enemies here. And you're going to want to proceed to the end of the hall here. Alright. We also now have a door off to our south, which is going to have a big old puzzle for us. And honestly, it's not that difficult. Basically, the way this quote-unquote puzzle works is as you light up a section, it's going to open up that door. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a freedom for how you're going to progress through. So the main way that people go is actually start off by heading off to the right. There's some adamantine. There we go. Alright. So we can also head off to the left here. So this will open up to our next puzzle. And essentially that's what you gotta do. You gotta kind of position yourself so you can head to the next puzzle, then the next puzzle, all the way to the center. So here we are. And as you can see, once you get far enough in, you do get ones that does allow you to split multiple directions. And here we go. Pull our lever. Now that we got our levers open, we can head to here, which will drop our barrier to the center. So basically, you gotta go through, pull the two levers, and then you're good. So at that point, you can exit, and we can head off to the right. Now down here, we do have more fighting. I know, surprise, surprise. So basically, he's explaining he needs energy, breaks the crystal, and he's gonna start spawning in a whole bunch of him. And it's gonna be all the way down, so there we go. And as you're following him, quote unquote, he will, again, continue spawning in, but he only goes as fast as you're able to keep up with him. And this just helps to stop some of the aggro. So if you are just rushing right behind him, you're going to have a huge horde of guys following you. Whereas if you're kind of going slowly, little bit by little bit, you kind of are just spawning them in groups. Here we are. We can head on down the stairs. And again, we can head left or right. So off to the right, as you saw, immediate fight. Now, a little trick here, they don't like climbing up the stairs for whatever reason. So it is kind of a semi-safe place, although they do like casting AoE type spells. There we go. Once that's done, we can pull our lever, which will let us into our giant juggernaut. Now, as you can see, they aren't optional to kill them. They do take a little bit of effort. And like all iron golems, fire heals them. And as I say that, my meteor swarm takes off, healing him. Alright. And a nice little room chest for us. Cool. Alright. So from here we are going to head north. And as you can see, we do have another door right here. In order to open that door, we do need to get around pulling the lever up top there. But we have a whole we have enemies downstairs. We also have a whole bunch of air jets throwing us around. So the easiest recommendation is to first deal with the trash. Then, on the bottom side, opposite of the stairs. So, stairs are off to your left. If you actually hop just down right here, we have a control box. Now this will disable the traps up top. Ooh. Seems we had a couple of guys left. Allowing you to better go through the top. And being able to get our lever up there. Or, now that we pulled that down there, we can actually just hop in here, pulling the lever here. So it's kind of a dealer's choice, whether or not you want to head all the way around, or hop down, get the trap, pull the lever. Once you've pulled that lever, we can now head off here, which should be close to the end fight actually. It's kind of a simple, straightforward quest, though it is difficult. The fights are very brutal at level, as you see from our barbarian not having a good day. Alright, once we get to the top, we can pull our lever, which will activate a little floaty elevator, which will take us up top here. I see that rim down there. Alright, so here, open up our door, and we get to fight some more. Alright. At this point, we can head off to the left, heading north. And here we will find, again, some more puzzles. So our objective is to light up the 4 sections. Now again, head around to the side. Ooh, 2 champs. Double Vorpal. And double Rems. Awesome. So we got our first lever here. Another lever here. Now as you see, it does open us up on this side here, allowing us to, well, solve this part of the puzzle. Now, where you see Shira standing on, that is actually a trap. Now if you have that lit up, you may want to step off of that. it will set off the trap. Obviously, if you unlight it, unfortunately, the trap is still active. So you do just want to watch yourself. So next we're actually going to highlight over to here, which will be our last optional juggernaut. And that will give us a little extra XP and a chest. So now we actually need to head back in here. And we need to properly light up this section. Alright. There we go. Now that we got that lit up, we need to do the other side. So it's an exact mirror image. You kind of head off to the right, or in this case, we head off left instead of right. We have the first lever here. We got a second one around the corner that has a bunch of Abishai. Just let me pull the lever. Oh man, that lag. Yeah, so this is an unfortunate side effect of DDO. Sometimes it just cannot contain the awesome. Alright, and again, pull the lever, and it will open everything up for us. So as you see, we have all the levers lit. We can now proceed south. So I do want to point out, you technically don't need to go to the left side. It's just easier to get in and fight the guy than it is heading off to the right. But once you've lit that up and the blue crystal, it will let you through the door here. Alright, so now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So you do have guys right and left. As well, there's actually a secret door behind that bookshelf straight ahead of us. Now, behind that, there are some traps, as well as a very difficult optional. This is typically skipped just due to its difficulty, and obviously it is optional, not required for completion. But in order to showcase everything for you guys, of course we're going to hit it up. And just hope we don't die. Alright, so off to the right here, heading south, we do have a set of shrines. Behind our bookshelf, we have our secret door. And as you see, we also have a spell ward. It's not actually letting me disable the spell ward. It is blocked. Alright, well, whatever. We're going to break the crates, making the spell ward moot. And I could have sworn that there was an optional back here. Well, guess it's just a chest. Yeah, there is nothing else back there. Okay. So, heading north, we got a door to our end fight. So here we are. Again, we got Carver. He's going to spawn in a whole bunch of his trash selves. You'll also have some breakables. Now, one easy way is right at the beginning, you don't bother fighting these guys down here. Rather, before he's even summoned them up, you want to just rush in and head straight upstairs. This will get you out of their range, so by the time they actually spawn in, you're well out of their range. And yeah, you only gotta fight half the guys. And as you're fighting him, as you can see, he spawns in more and more copies. Just more and more copies. Alright, once he is defeated, that is it. Quest complete. So, fairly simple-ish. It's more difficult just due to the actual, like, groups of fights than it is with the quest itself. At the end, you can get some nice loot. There is a kind of a nice little dagger set if you are using daggers, which is actually slice and dice. So here is dice. And slice is a very similar style dagger. We're going to reroll, see what we get. So there's also another dice there. One more go, and nada. So yeah, you can get a nice little set out of the slice and dice. And that's about it. Thank you guys again for watching. It's been a blast, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.